Thank you. I hope you had time to enjoy the 3-course lunch for 45 minutes. I think we made a world record. Anyway, I think it's time to move to today's next session. So in the morning we heard about the problem. Okay, we have a problem, fine. We heard that there might be some solutions, but now it's time to hear whether those solutions are out there, whether they are available. And for that, we have for the session now, we have another moderator who will be running the show. And well, I'll be happy to announce that the moderator, will start the discussion with another surprise.
Okay. All right, I don't think it's going to be as surprising this time. Listen, friends, to what I'm saying. We must stop playing with all our futures. This is the moment. This is the moment when we all decide to fight as one for the earth. Time is wasting. We must be hasty or lose the chance to even decide it all. Tick tock, our species clock winding out until there are no more seconds left. There is a chance to save our species. We must unite as one, join voices loud and strong for the earth and future generations. Now is our last chance to take a stand. Come on, we can. Come on, we can. Nuclear power holds the key to universal prosperity. It is nuclear energy we must embrace for the human race. And if we build it, history will show it was the right way to go. Nuclear power holds the key to universal prosperity. It is nuclear energy we must embrace for the human race. And if we build it, history will show it was the right way to go. All right, thank you. Opera singer hat coming off. Moderator hat coming on. Hello everyone, and welcome to this afternoon session. My name is Eric Meyer. I'm the founder and director of Generation Atomic. We are a nuclear advocacy group in the U.S. and soon internationally we'll be at the climate talks this year. What Generation Atomic does, a few things, but the core of our business right now is a grassroots canvassing operation. We actually have people go door to door and talk and have conversations about the importance of nuclear energy in that particular community. We've had over 10,000 of those conversations in the last 5 months in Ohio, trying to save 2 nuclear plants there. And about 60% of those people have said, yes, I support your mission. Here's my contact information. Let me fill out a postcard and send it to my legislator, be a part of this. So that's it's been very validating to see that once people have the opportunity to get the facts and engage on this issue, they do support nuclear energy, and people have lots of different reasons. That's another thing. It may be the jobs, it might be the school funding for the area, or it might be the environmental benefits, which I think is why we're all here. So always important to remember. I'm thrilled that Rauli invited me and gave me this opportunity, and I'm even more thrilled looking at the panelists that we have today. So I will introduce our very first panelist here, Dr. Ville Tulkki. Is that good? Was that? Sorry, I don't know. I got a thumbs up there. I'm taking that as a yes. So Ville has worked in the nuclear research from 2005, initially at Helsinki University of Technology, and since 2009 at VTT Technical Research Center of Finland as a senior scientist. Or as he put it, basically he started on fusion research, downgraded to Gen 4, again downgraded to current reactor tech, and is now crawling his way back up towards advanced reactors. So let's welcome Ville to the stage.
Thank you, Eric. So yeah, thank you. I was asked to give you a primer on small modular reactors because that's the current upcoming issue and quite a buzzword when it comes to nuclear. So what are small modular reactors, or SMRs as we say? So they're small. Idea is to have power intense or a few hundreds of megawatts instead of gigawatt scale reactors. They are still physically like large buildings, but modules or reactors can be brought in by a truck, so it's not a tabletop nuclear power plant. They're modular, which means that the major components can be factory produced instead of constructed on site. Idea is to have a standardized product, and they can feature many reactors in one power plant, up to 12 or so. But still, they are nuclear reactors, and there is a huge variety of proposed designs, which can get very confusing for people who are not in the field. So the reason for this is basically there are very many ways to split an atom. You just need, in addition to uranium, a way to maintain a chain reaction producing heat with high enrichment or moderator material, and to transport heat out of the reactor by using a coolant material. So basically coolant can be water, gas, molten salt, molten sodium, molten lead, or something else also, and the moderator can be water, graphite, or possibly none. So basically light water reactors have water. This is the current standard and probably future workhorse also. High temperature reactors with gas and graphite, you can reach very high temperatures and to utilize those. With molten salt, you can either have graphite or none. And with molten metals, we usually call these fast reactors. They can be used to breed more fuel or burn long-lived actinides depending on the reactor you are using. Okay, I was not talking to the mic just now. Yeah, so these are quite new kind of reactors, which of course need some still development, or some need more, some need less. But still, we nowadays, thanks to the current generation of reactors, have devised modern tools, modern facilities to both investigate with high fidelity simulations, as well as advanced material testing facilities, the new materials, the new solutions. So this is just to say that these are not something that's completely new, but still something that can take advantage of 50 years of nuclear power we have been using. So what's the idea with the small modular reactors? They can produce electricity, and the good things, basically, smaller reactors are suitable for smaller grids. They can support grid functions such as frequency control. In idea is that one single unit of small reactor has smaller costs or costs less than one big reactor, so investment costs per unit are smaller and also faster construction. And also more units means better ongoing supply chain, so you don't need to just start over each time when you build a new reactor. And this is what has been driving the economics of, basically everything, renewables and other industrial things down, that when you build something, you build more, you get better, it gets cheaper. So this is also a test trying to get nuclear into this case of constantly improving economics. But in addition to electricity, this can extend the potential for the use of nuclear power. From low temperature applications such as district heating, desalination, to very high temperature applications such as catalytic processes for process industry, production of synthetic fuels, hydrogen production. That is not currently used by nuclear energy. So we are not only producing electricity, we could do a lot more for the industry. And as IAEA Energy Technologies Perspectives comments, that nuclear energy can play a very relevant role in district heating, seawater desalination, industrial production processes, and fuel synthesis. This kind of non-electric applications for nuclear, it's not a new thing. For instance, there is a research reactor in Halden, Norway, that supplies steam to a paper mill, and it has been doing that for 50 years. So basically, paper mill using nuclear steam, we could do that also. There is district heating with nuclear power. The closest one was in Stockholm, in Augusta, that had a small nuclear reactor producing district heating. Also in Switzerland and in former Soviet Union countries, there are ongoing district heating with nuclear. Seawater desalination with nuclear power is being done in USA, Japan, Kazakhstan as we speak, and there are very many nuclear powered ships. Once again, appeal to authority. IAEA says that onboard nuclear energy storage and power generation could be a clean and relatively cheap way to actually decarbonize shipping, which is a very major source of pollution at the moment and growing because of international trade. So, but the idea that we are using nuclear also something else than just plug it in and produce electricity to the grid means that the reactors themselves are only the tools to an end. So the integration to the process industry is something that is very needed. So currently the process industry has very optimized way of working, but this very optimization depends on energy from burning fossil fuels or biomass that could be used as a feedstock for other products. So now the question comes how to utilize this kind of extra low carbon heat source in a process and how to optimize around that instead of just burning your excess carbon material. And also, how does this application affect the reactor? There are tools to analyze, optimize this kind of process, like for instance this APROS process simulation developed by VTT and Fortum that can be used for such optimization and user training. So we are not starting from zero even here. But on the timeline, so people always ask when can we get the SMRs or advanced reactors? In the West, on the left side here, for instance in Canada, at the moment there are 7 reactor designs in the pre-licensing pipeline, and Canada aims to be a SMR technology hub. In the United States, currently, NuScale, which is a light water SMR, is under licensing process, and first plants aims to be finished about mid-20s or something like that. And in United Kingdom, there's ongoing SMR competition, and at least a site for first SMR has been proposed, but with the current political issues there, I think it's a bit shorter. But this is in the West, so designs have been proposed and are in the licensing pipeline. In the East, in China, a gas-cooled reactor of industrial size should be grid connected this year, and they have very strong aim for strong domestic and international expansion with deals already underway with Saudi Arabia, Philippines. South Korea has developed its own smart light water reactor SMR. In Russia, they just first barge reactor just sailed away from Leningrad a few months ago. There was quite a lot of news also in Finland about that, and they have also sodium cooled BN800 online has been for a year or two. So basically, we can also see that if the question is when we can get these, quite soon, actually. Of course, this is something that is relatively new development, and it's relatively quickly happening. So it's a very nice time to be a researcher, because it needs all of this kind of basic research, numerical simulations, testing, materials irradiation, and so on, in order to actually facilitate these things. So very much thanks to anybody who actually does these reactors, keeps us researchers very busy. But thank you.
Very good. I was thinking, we can do this, I guess. We'll just do one question for each person. Do we have one question for our friend Ville? No? Okay. All right. And then in a precedent-setting move, I'm going to say that we'll save all of our questions for the panel at the end. Yeah, thanks, Ville.